Are you wanting to buy a home but aren't sure if your credit is going to be good enough to get approved for a mortgage? Or maybe you're just looking for ways to improve your credit score. Well, in this video, I go over 5 ways to improve your credit rating as a Canadian. Hey everyone, my name is Morgan Little. I'm a realtor here in the Greater Toronto Area, and I also run a site called Toronto Property Finder where you can find all the up-to-date listings on property across the Toronto and surrounding area. If at any time you'd like to discuss your real estate journey or just pick my brain, feel free to book a call by clicking my Calendly link in the description below. All right, let's talk about it. First off, what is a credit score? A credit score is a numerical expression based on a level analysis of a person's credit files to represent the credit worthiness of an individual. A credit score is primarily based on a credit report, information typically sourced from credit bureaus. Now, in layman's terms, your credit score just tells people how reliable you are you going to pay your bills on time? A lot of people don't really know how credit works, let alone what their credit score is. And when they do look into it to find out what the score is, it's less than ideal. Happens all the time. When you're young and having fun, you're not so worried about stuff like your credit score. And over time, if you don't pay attention to it, it can have a real impact on your future when you decide that you want to do something like buy a house. Even if you're trying to rent, especially here in Toronto, your credit score is going to often make or break your application to lease a home or condo. But it doesn't mean you're doomed. There are things you can do to improve your credit that may take a little bit of time and discipline, but simply must be done if you're ever going to want to get a mortgage, whether for a home for yourself or an investment property. And I'm a big proponent of using good debt to acquire assets, so please pay attention. Also, these can be used if you're just trying to build credit for the first time as well. Now, one thing before we go through these is a full disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and I'm only recommending these as suggestions to help in your journey. All right, let's get into it. So the lowest score that you could have is 300, which is really bad. Nobody should be at a 300. And on the other side of that, the best you could have is a 900. According to Equifax, a score between 660 and 724 is considered good. 725 to 759 would be considered very good, and anything above 760 is considered excellent. You can use Credit Karma or Borrowell to get a credit report to find out your rating. I'll leave links to those below. Now, if you're looking to qualify for a mortgage to buy a home, a credit score or a credit check rather is definitely going to take place, and the results can affect your ability to get a mortgage. Also, like I mentioned, even if you're trying to rent, you'll likely require a credit report. I had a client recently who was looking just to rent a home in Mississauga. Their credit score was 675, which as I mentioned is considered good. However, they had a judgment listed on the credit report against them for a large amount, claiming that there's money owed. This shows up on the credit report and it severely hurt their application. We eventually found them a place, but it was a real challenge. So let's get into the 5 things that you can do to improve your credit score. Even if you're not at a point where you want to buy a home and you're just looking to improve your credit, these things can be done. Now, first of all, I need you to commit to improving your credit. Now, place your left hand on your credit card, raise your right hand. Do you swear to commit to taking the steps necessary to improve your credit? Okay, great. Now that I have your word, let's get into number 1. Pay your bills on time and in full. Simple enough, right? I know it can be tough to let go of money in your account, even when you have it there to spare, but you got to get past that mental block and pay those bills on time. Every time you pay late, it goes against your credit rating. Many of these companies report directly to the credit bureau every time you don't pay. So pay in full and on time. Make it easy on yourself. Set up a calendar reminder for each bill so that you remember. Or even better, automate your bills so that it happens without you even having to think about it. This will go towards giving you more time to make money as well. So take that off your plate, make it easy. And if you can't make a due date, call your credit card company or whichever bill that you'll be late on. They'll often give you an extension. Number 2, do an audit of your bills, especially your credit card. Look at all the automatic withdrawal payments and decide if there are any that you can cut. I'm sure that there is. Be ruthless. This is important here, even more now that we're headed into a potentially rough couple of years economically. So the better you can set yourself up now, the stronger you'll be later. One easy way to do this is call your credit card company and say you lost your card. They will stop that credit card. All payments will stop that you have auto set up. And then each of those companies will send you an email asking you to update your payment method. Then you can go through each of them, weigh the options, and see which ones are good to keep and which ones can be cut. And remember, Like I said, be ruthless. Number 3, make a budget. This should probably be number 1. If you don't have a budget, how do you know how much money you need to survive each month? It's a simple thing, but most people don't do it. Track your income and your expenses to find out how much you have left afterwards. And can you do anything, like I mentioned in number 2, to cut your expenses? Also, ask yourself, are you paying yourself first? Do you have an emergency fund that you add money to every month or off every paycheck? And is that automated? Are you making TFSA and RSP contributions? These are a whole bunch of other things that I will talk about in another video. For now, I'll stick to the topic of credit score, but just little things to ask yourself. Number 4, if you have a credit card, use it for small purchases. Especially if you're someone who's just trying to build your credit for the first time, the length of your credit history and the amount of activity is considered in your rating. So please just make these smaller purchases and pay it off immediately. Like I said, it will take some discipline, but you've got to stick to it. Don't just start putting bills on your credit card and then leave it at that. Make sure you pay them off. If you have an issue with this sort of thing and you don't think you can handle the responsibility, set up auto pay for some of the smaller bills and then cut up the card so you can't swipe it anywhere. Then go take a hard look in the mirror and start to think about what you can do to start utilizing some willpower. I'm not here to judge. If you want to make a change in your life though, you're going to have to change some of your habits. Number 5, get a secured MasterCard from Capital One. It's set up so you can pay them $300 up front. They'll give you a card with say $1,000 or $1,200 limit. So you essentially have a $300 buffer on there. So when you pay your bills like you should, then there's a $300 credit on the card. This is designed to help people rebuild their credit. I'll put a link for that in the description below as well. Those are my top 5 tips to help you rebuild your credit, but here's a little bonus as well. If you can get accepted for a line of credit, you can often use this to pay off your credit card. Lines of credits are typically in the 10% range, whereas your credit card is probably 20% or more. So if your credit history isn't that bad, but you found that you've been racking up credit card debt more recently due to the pandemic or inflation driving up the cost of things, then transferring your credit card balance onto a line of credit may make it a bit more manageable. Speak to your bank and see if that's an option. And remember, credit utilization counts towards your credit score as well. If you have, for example, a $5,000 limit and you spend $2,500 of that, you're at a 50% utilization until that's paid off. So it's ideal to keep it below 30% without it affecting your credit too much. You can have multiple credit cards to try and avoid this, but just be sure to keep track of the balance on each card. One more big disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who spends a lot of time learning and thinking about my finances and how to improve them. Again, if you'd like to discuss any of these topics further, don't hesitate to reach out with the link in the description below, and I look forward to it. Till then, stay well and stay hungry.